New York is such a microcosm of, I think, what she thinks, strong society should be about.
To believe in somebody and helping others, that really made a huge impact.
She's an amazing woman.
My mother is a breaker of glass ceilings. After she graduated from Boston University, she was working for Life magazine. There was a story of where she got sent to meet the rebel leaders. They didn't pick the New York Times guy or the London Times guy. They picked my little unassuming mom. So they blindfolded her, took her through a drive through the desert for many hours. She wound up making an interview with the rebel leader, and it went into Life magazine. It got picked up by several publications. My dad was an editor for the Toronto Star and called Mr. Margaritis to see if there were any other photos outside of what had already run. And my mother picked up the phone and said, "There's no Mr. Margaritis. It's me, Elizabeth Margaritis." And that's how my father and mother first met.
When I was at the Villager, small little weekly newspaper, she was committed to having an arts section. We didn't get a lot of advertising for our arts section, but she believed it was a crucial part of what made the village, what made the city, and we had a whole string of freelancers who wrote every week about dance, art, photography, music, because it was a central part of what our community was about and what the city was about. And I think she sees the CUNY system and the community college system as critical to the future vibrancy of New York City.
Elizabeth brings her own personal experience as an immigrant, as an entrepreneur, as someone who went the extra mile for so many people to the board.
My grandmother went to American schools in Europe, in Turkey, and she had always pushed my mom this way, through education, through the importance of education. And my mom came here at age 17 on a scholarship to Boston University with not very much in her pockets. And I think she sees a lot of herself in the student body here.
BMCC today is largely an immigrant story, and Elizabeth's an immigrant, and I think there's a real deep connection to those young people who in so many cases are either immigrants themselves or the children of immigrants and trying to find their place in this country and at the risk of being cliche, really find their own American dream.
Being a woman and being an international student, she believed in me, so that would remain with me forever.
Elizabeth is an early adopter of the Borough of Manhattan Community College. As a neighbor and as a person, she recognized the tremendous value that our students bring to our city and to our future, and her love for learning and the opportunity that BMCC brings to those students has compelled her through many, many years, even more than a decade, of service and involvement with these students.
Getting a scholarship is definitely one of the amazing things that happened to me. It was the first time for me getting a scholarship. In my country, you're usually don't get a scholarship. It's very hard if you don't have the connections. It's completely a different world. And here, finding someone that appreciates what you do, it's amazing.
She thinks about where can I have the most impact.
My mother has definitely been a role model for me, and what she's done post-corporate career to give back to the community, to New York City, has been very motivating for me, and I would hope that I would do as much, or if not more, and follow in my mother's footsteps.
She realizes the importance of it's not good enough to be a great leader yourself. What are you doing to create that next generation of leader?
I really appreciate what some people like Miss Elizabeth do for us. I don't know, I hope that one day I'm going to do the same thing for people who need it.
When you meet a Borough of Manhattan Community College student, you can see what Elizabeth has seen and what has made Elizabeth spend so much of her energy on this institution, that our students are worthy of an investment. And Borough of Manhattan Community College is an investment in the future.